Patient Zero, Episode 2, The Heat in Yaoundé, Montreal, January 1980. Gilbert Ducharme stared out at the snowbank, swallowing the curb outside his apartment on Rue Saint-Denis. The engine of the idling taxi below hissed in the cold. He pulled on his navy coat and adjusted his scarf, still damp from the morning's shower. He hadn't planned to take another shift, but Paris was on the schedule. And from there, a medical charter cruise slot had opened on a special Air-Afrique route to Cameroon. 2 flights, 4 days, and a layover in a country he'd never set foot in. His wanderlust had been quiet lately. Time to wake it up. He checked his appearance in the hallway mirror. Pressed shirt, perfect hair, and a faint trace of cologne. He winked at himself. Back into the sky, he muttered, and shut the door. Yaoundé, Cameroon, 2 nights later. The heat was feral, dense, wet, and full of insect buzz. The city trembled under it. After the Paris-Yaoundé leg, Gilbert had a 48-hour layover before the return. The hotel was modest, the AC unit half broken, and his sheets damp even when untouched. He wandered the side streets at dusk, drawn by neon halos and the echo of music. On a sloped corner, not far from a dusty soccer field, he found a bar called Le Petit Parfum, part lounge, part disco. The windows were fogged. Inside, the music was alive. The whispers and the beat goes on, blasted from old speakers, followed by the new song Gilbert loved by Tina Marie. The floor throbbed with movement. Gay men, many local, a few European expats, moved with a feverish grace, shirtless or in wide-collared silk, bathed in pink light. Some danced like it was their last night on earth. Gilbert felt the pull, the same desire he always did when the music was right and the night just strange enough. He stepped onto the dance floor and found him, a tall, handsome black man with high cheekbones and a chain of amber beads wearing tight dungarees. They didn't speak at first. They danced. Close. Closer. The man's name was Benoit, and his touch was slow and hypnotic. After a while, Gilbert whispered something dumb about the music, and Benoit laughed, a deep, private sound. "Come with me, mon chéri," he said, voice husky. The ride to Benoit's apartment on the outskirts of Yaoundé was rough. A rattling taxi down a dirt road at the city's edge, past rusting sheds and sugarcane stalks. Inside, 1 room, open window, a thin mattress. The walls were yellowed. They undressed by candlelight. Benoit's hands were elegant, his body lean and hard. Gilbert gasped as their bodies came together, the rhythm rougher, hotter, more desperate than he was used to. And then he saw it. Lesions. Deep brownish-purple patches along Benoit's ribs, one near his collarbone. Not bruises, not bug bites. He slowed. Benoit looked down, noticed his hesitation, and chuckled without humor. "They started last month," he said, breathless, "after I bottomed for a soccer star from Ghana. Maybe he gave me more than I asked for." Gilbert said nothing. The music of the night came back, a heavy, warbled echo in his ears. They finished anyway. He didn't ask for a condom. Neither did Benoit. Afterward, they lay in silence, skin cooling in the humid air. A lizard darted across the ceiling. Gilbert dressed in the dark and left before dawn. Buffalo, New York, February 1980. Dr. Sue Quinlan sipped lukewarm coffee from a Roswell Park mug as the flakes of lake-effect snow hit the windows of her small office. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. She'd just come back from a rotation in New York City, doing viral pathology studies under a grant with the CDC. Her colleague, Dr. Ellison, leaned against the doorframe. "You look like hell," he said. "Maybe I'll treat you to Jimmy Mac's after work." "I saw hell," Sue replied. She pulled out a file from her satchel. Inside, charts, photos, thin medical notes. "You know Greenwich Village? It's become a graveyard in slow motion. I saw men who looked 40 going in, and 30 minutes later, I was told they were 22. Wasting syndrome, lesions, pneumocystis pneumonia, thrush so thick it coated their throats like mold." "Drug use?" he asked. "Sure, but not always. Some of them didn't even smoke." "And the immune markers?" She nodded. CD4 cells bottomed out. They're walking around with no T cells. It's like their bodies are surrendering. "Gay men?" "Mostly, yes. And no one wants to say why." She closed the file. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "It's not just rare. It's organized. Something's spreading." Montreal, 1 week later. Gilbert stood in the airport bathroom at Montreal Dorval, freshly landed, uniform crisp, the sickly heat of Yaoundé finally purged from his skin. The mirror was foggy from the sinks. He leaned in and looked at himself. Something was different. His eyes, still sharp, still sky-colored, had a faint yellow-gray cast around the edges. Not red, not tired. Something else. He blinked, rubbed them, looked again. Behind him, a cleaning woman ran a mop across the tile. Gilbert turned away. He had danced on 3 continents in 1 winter. He had kissed and bitten and been devoured. And something now traveled with him. Silent, patient, microscopic. In Cameroon, the fire had passed through him. In Buffalo at Roswell, the doctors were beginning to whisper. And in Montreal, Gilbert Ducharme stared at his reflection and saw nothing yet. Just a beautiful man with eyes that didn't look quite right.